right now.
And now from ABC2, Maryland's most accurate forecast.
Oh boy, winter is here, and it's going to be next week when we're really going to feel the difference. Outside right now, temps are relatively mild so far as what's going to be moving in as we go into the next, say, 5 to 7 days. But we're going to be watching our temperatures, especially north and west of the city. Westminster at 32, right there at that freezing mark, and that's mainly because we have some precipitation moving in. And if you're going to be near freezing, that gives you an opportunity to see some of that freezing rain. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Hit a high temp of 37. This makes 3 days in a row where we didn't even hit 40 degrees. As you can see, for this time of year, we should at least reach close to 46 degrees. Currently, we're at 37. The dew point's at 31. Once the dew point goes above 32, that's usually when you're in the all clear to dodge any freezing rain at the surface. Winds are from the east at 5 miles per hour. So once we reach that threshold, we should be okay. In the meantime, the freezing rain advisory will remain in effect, and it's going to set up a soggy Monday because the rain isn't going anywhere that quickly going into your day tomorrow. Then the real chill is going to arrive for Thursday. You're going to be hearing the polar vortex thrown around a lot as we go into the coming days, and then we'll have to follow the weekend forecast because with that polar air in place, next weekend could be a mess as well. A lot of this is going to be transpiring, and it all starts with this. Here's a look at the radar currently. Here's the indications of that wintry mix beginning to move in just west of Hagerstown. This will slowly make its way closer towards the Baltimore area. The main system responsible for this is bringing a lot of moisture with it. The good news here, this is also going to increase the southerly flow, which will warm us up. So there's a very narrow window of opportunity for this freezing rain to stick to the ground, but it is going to be tonight, and that's why we have this freezing rain advisory. Here's a look at who's in and who's out. It does include Carroll County, areas like Westminster. This also goes south towards Eldersburg, as well as west towards Mount Airy, and also Cockeysville and points north. Notice that line just north of Towson. One thing we mentioned at the top of the show is that the weather doesn't know these boundaries. So even if you're anywhere close to this freezing rain advisory, you can still count on seeing some freezing rain, especially on the untreated surfaces. So just a heads up there. Here's a look at our local lows and the temperatures. A lot of us are going to be starting off our overnight near the freezing mark, and that's why that freezing rain advisory is in effect. Here's Futurecast. Going into the overnight, fine, this is that window of opportunity to see the freezing rain. As we go into the late morning hours, the kids at the bus stop forecast will begin to lose that freezing rain threat, especially areas close to the city. So you definitely want to still drive with caution, and the rain should get out of here as we go towards late morning into the early afternoon hours. The clouds will remain, but as we go into the afternoon, hopefully we can even break out some sunshine. I'm actually counting on that. Notice that high temp shooting for 52 degrees. Temperatures will be steadily increasing as we go into the overnight towards your tomorrow morning. So once we get past the initial morning start of the rain, skies should gradually clear up, helping us to get to those 50s. We do pretty good for Tuesday, 43, partly cloudy, cool and calm. Wednesday would be nice as well, but then we'll talk about some big changes here. Just look at the wind chill tracker first. This is going to be the wind chill, pretty much run-of-the-mill stuff, but going into next week, look at that, 2 and 12 for Thursday and Friday. That cooler air is definitely going to be lurking, and that's going to cause some problems for much of the mid-Atlantic and the Midwest. So that's why I say you're going to hear more about that polar vortex at the closeout of the week. So even though we're talking about the freezing rain advisory now, if you've been waiting to get your layers ready, for the winter, maybe the kids need some things they have to get together.
Now is the time.
Now's the time to do it because this is going to be a pretty cold blast. So that's one of the reasons why, this weekend was cold, but we haven't seen anything just yet.
And real quick, do you think it'll stay for a long time?
Don't think it's going to stay for a long time, but it could be a foreshadow of what's to come.
All right, Mike, thanks so much. When you wake up tomorrow, it will